Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're breaking down a courtroom case that centers on fractured family relationships, alleged manipulation, and a chilling plan that prosecutors say unfolded behind closed doors. As testimony reveals conflicting statements, shifting narratives, and accusations of a mastermind pulling the strings, the court is left to determine who was truly involved, and who may be rewriting history to save themselves. Let's walk through the key moments that brought this case into the spotlight.
You raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under the laws of the state of Utah, penalty of perjury, that the testimony given this matter today will be true and correct, so help you God? Yes. Thank you. Can you see that chair, please? Can you give me some instructions as you're coming up and how to make the process go easier for you? Okay. So that mic, they like to say loud, it goes up and down, pull it forward towards you. Just speak directly into it so we can hear you. Okay. Let the attorneys finish asking the question before you respond so that you know that you're responding to the right question. Sometimes there's a tag on the end what you think is the original question. Okay. Please give us verbal responses. Nodding your head, shrugging your shoulder. We'll probably understand it today, but we don't have video recorders or audio, so if we need to listen to a transcript, we wouldn't understand what you were telling us at that point. So if you give a non-verbal response, we simply ask you if that's yes or no to be correct and precise. Finally, if you don't understand the question, please don't guess or speculate. Just tell the attorneys you don't understand, and we'll be happy to rephrase the question for you. And also give direct answers. Please don't give us narrative responses, okay? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Pomeroy.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Ms. Laney. Hi. Thank you for being here. A little housekeeping to begin with. Could you spell your name for the audio recording, please?
Okay, my name is Caitlyn Laney. It's Kaitlyn, Laney, Laney.
And what would you prefer that we call you today?
Caitlyn's fine.
Thank you, Caitlyn. Caitlyn, where did you live in the summer of 2024?
I lived in American Fork, Utah.
Okay. Do you know a Tracy Gri?
Yes.
Do you know a Kevin Ellis?
Yes.
How do you know them?
They were my neighbors.
Okay. As neighbors, did you speak to Tracy or Kevin often?
I talked to Tracy occasionally when I would see her outside. We were neighborly. She gave me my garage code. She would text me if she had an extra thing of milk from Costco. I didn't see Kevin very often. I think maybe just a few times. Usually if I saw him, it was outside. We'd say hi, but that was pretty much it.
And would you text with Tracy as well?
Yes.
Now you said you were neighbors. Can you describe what type of situation that was?
Like I said, we were neighborly.
I mean physically, next door neighbors, across the street neighbors.
Yes, got it. Okay. So we both lived in a townhome. My unit was more like a condo with an attached garage. So our unit was more above the garages and slightly above hers and the neighbor behind.
Okay. Did you have first floor in your townhome?
Only at the garage entrance.
Okay. And so yours was mainly second level?
Yes.
And did you share any of those walls with Tracy's home, or just she was below you in part?
The stairway, I believe, shared walls with like their office and maybe partial living room. But again, it would have been like higher ceiling.
Okay.
Caitlyn Laney is sworn in and testifies that in the summer of 2024 she lived in American Fork, Utah, where Tracy Gri and Kevin Ellis were her neighbors. She describes her relationship with them as limited and neighborly, with occasional contact with Tracy and minimal interaction with Kevin, and explains that her townhome sat mostly above the garages with only partial shared walls. So how much can a neighbor with limited contact and separation realistically observe or know?
And was your unit mostly over her garage then, or mostly over living space?
So I was over all of the garages. So my garage, her garage, the neighbor behind. It's kind of a weird unit, but basically I was just above the garages and then slightly over the two townhomes, like on the more east side of the building.
And given this configuration you're talking about, we're all interested in how much could you really hear from their home? Was it common to hear noises from their home?
No, I would hear their garage door closing. Occasionally I could hear noises in my laundry room, but it wasn't ever really clear.
And what type of community was this?
It was a gated townhome community.
Did you consider it a safe neighborhood?
Yes.
Did you ever notice whether Tracy would use a screen door on her front door?
Yes, she had, it wasn't like a screen door. She had a, usually in the summer, she would have like one of those bug screens that you could walk through, because she liked to have her doors and windows open. It was not an uncommon occurrence that they were all open.
And to clarify that, when you say it's not uncommon occurrence, they were all open, you mean the front door was open with the screen door intact?
The front door with, the windows,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, do you remember calling 911 sometime during the summer of 2024?
Yes.
Do you remember the date?
July 11th?
Okay. 11th or 12th, somewhere in
11th
there?
or 12th, yeah.
Okay. And what was the reason you called 911?
I heard gunshots.
Okay. Let's back up a second, talk about before you heard gunshots. What were you doing that evening?
It was a Friday night, and we were watching a movie with our kids. That was kind of our Friday night ritual at that point in time. We'd come home and make popcorn and watch movies with our kids until they fell asleep.
And by we, do you mean a husband or a partner or something?
My husband, yes.
You remember what movie you were watching?
I have no idea. It's a Disney movie.
Okay. And you said you heard gunshots. Tell me exactly what you heard.
Just probably 6 to 8 shots. It was pretty quick. There might have been a slight, like a couple seconds between the last one, but it was all pretty quick.
And when you say pretty quick, you're referring to the 6 to 8 gunshots being pretty quick with potentially a pause before the last one.
Yes.
After you heard those gunshots, did you do anything?
I looked over at my husband, and I asked him, I was like, was that fireworks or was that gunshots? It's Utah, people shoot guns, sorry. They do shoot guns here, but no. It's not uncommon to hear fireworks between like the 4th of July and the 24th. It's Utah, so we get 2 4th of Julys here. So I looked over at my husband and I just basically was like, was that? And so my husband's kind of the optimistic one in the group.
Caitlyn explains that her unit was located almost entirely above the garages, which limited what she could hear from Tracy's home, aside from occasional sounds like a garage door or unclear noises. She describes the area as a gated and generally safe community, notes that Tracy often kept her front door open with a bug screen during the summer, and then recalls the night she called 911 after hearing 6 to 8 rapid gunshots while watching a movie with her husband and children, initially questioning whether the sounds were fireworks or something more serious, given the layout of the homes and the quiet neighborhood. How significant is her account of what she heard that night?
So he's like, it was probably just fireworks. And so I was like, I don't think it was fireworks. That sounded close, and it sounded more like a bang than a pop.
Did you look outside to see if there was anything going on?
Oh, yes. So I got up, and I want to say, I think I texted Tracy first before I went and looked out the windows, because I had seen her at the park a couple days before with her grandson, and she had said that her daughter had left an abusive marriage, and that they had come out from California. So I texted her because it sounded close, and I was thinking maybe it could have come from her townhome. So I texted her and asked if she was okay. And then my husband kind of was following me, but I walked over to, there's a window in our bedroom that would look out at the garages, and we didn't really have parking for guests right by our homes because it's like communal shared driveways, but sometimes people would park in front of Tracy's driveway or in front of her garage if someone was over. So I looked there first to see if there was a car or anything, and there wasn't. So Then I went to our bathroom, and we had a really small window in our bathroom that faced the street, that looked at the street in front of her home, and the door in front of my house and her house. And when I looked out the window, I saw a truck running. I did notice there was cardboard under it, which I thought was really weird. But at that point, I hadn't heard back from Tracy yet, and because of what she had told me the night or the couple days before that I had seen her, I proceeded to call 911.
Do you recall the time that you heard the first gunshot?
It was about 10:07.
Do you remember the amount of time between the gunshot and when you texted Tracy?
It was anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. It was just when my husband and I were kind of conversing about, was that fireworks or gunshots? And then I got up and walked over to our countertop. I didn't want to be right in front of the kids when we were kind of having that discussion.
And do you remember how long it was between the gunshot and when you called 911?
Probably less than 2 minutes.
1 second.
No.
And our state moves to admit Exhibit 41, the 911 call.
Any objection?
None, Judge.
Who has it over again?
41.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Mr. Williams. State's Exhibit 41 is admitted without objection.
Thank you. And could we publish that, please?
What's the address of your emergency?
112 South 920 East, my neighbors.
What city?
American Fork.
And the address one more time.
I'm at 112 South 920 East, it's my neighbors. But
What's the phone number you're calling in case we're disconnected?
907 44.
Okay, so the address is your home. It's your neighbors, and tell me exactly what's going on with them.
I'm pretty sure I just heard gunshots. And there's a car with flashers. I know that her daughter just left her husband in California. But I tried getting a hold of her and I haven't heard anything. But
Okay, and you said it's the neighbor's daughter is going through a divorce, or?
she lost her husband.
Okay. In California?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's a sketchy truck in front of her house, and I just have it.
Okay, what kind of truck is that?
It looks like a Ford.
What color?
Silver. I can't tell if the plates are California.
Okay. And then, do you know what direction your neighbor's house is from your house?
I think she's 114.
Okay. At 114 South?
Yes.
Okay.
Caitlyn realized the loud bangs were likely gunshots, not fireworks, and texted Tracy to check on her because of a recent warning about her daughter's abusive marriage. Seeing a running truck with cardboard underneath near Tracy's home and receiving no response, she called 911 within minutes, reporting the gunfire and the suspicious vehicle. How important is Caitlyn's quick response in understanding the events that night?
And you're gonna what?
I'm gonna see if my husband can try calling her, but I don't know.
And you still leave the truck outside? Are you able to see a license plate?
I really can't tell. I can see it from my bathroom.
Okay.
It's dark outside, so I cannot tell where it's from.
And the gunshot, was it one shot? Did you hear multiple?
It sounded like it would sound like two. It sounded like gunshot too. It sounded, I don't know, maybe 6.
6 shots?
I think. I don't know. I don't think it was fireworks.
Okay. And do you know, was the husband still in California, or?
I don't know. I don't know all the details. I just there's a sketchy looking truck in front of their house.
Okay, and you've never seen it before in the area?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to call her from my husband's phone, but
Okay, yeah, I'm going to keep you on the line to be updated with that.
I'm gonna try to call her.
What's her name?
Her name is Tracy. Her daughter's name is Katie.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can get hold of her. It didn't sound like fireworks to me.
And what's your name?
It's Caitlyn
With
Laney.
a C or a K?
With a K. I'm gonna call her right now.
Okay, yeah, let me know.
She didn't answer.
Okay. And what was your last name again, Caitlyn?
It's Laney. It's Laney.
Laney? Okay. Do you have,
Looks like this.
it looks like what?
It looks like there's cardboard under like the front of the truck, which seems kind of weird, but I don't know. My husband thinks there's only a gunshot too. (801) 651 2695.
Okay. And we're getting an officer sent into that area now. If anything changes or escalates at all, just go ahead and give us a call right back. Okay, Caitlyn?
Okay, there's the gate code. It's pound 1212. If you want to let the officer know.
Pound 1212?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll get them sent into that area.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
You have that now? Okay. Permission to approach the witness?
Yes. You have ongoing permission.
Thank you, Your Honor. Caitlyn, I have handed you what has been identified as State's Exhibit or Plaintiff's Exhibit 42. Could you look at that document and tell me once you've had a chance to review it?
Yes.
What are these?
These are text messages between me and Tracy.
And to clarify, they're text messages from the evening of July 12th through the 13th.
Yes.
Okay. And are these accurate copies of your text messages?
Yes.
Your Honor, the State moves into evidence Exhibit 42.
Any objection? No objection, Judge. We, just for your Honor's reference, we're going to be providing the jurors with a more complete text or chain, but we've stipulated that as well. All right, so maybe it'd be easier just to have one master set so we don't get confused.
Yes, what will be submitted for the jury will be 15 pages. What I was using today is 10 pages.
All right.
But that's not going to be a problem.
All right.
We have the stipulation.
All right, thank you. All right. Exhibit 42 is admitted without objection.
And if we could publish that. Thank you. Okay, could you please look at the first message on the first page?
Yes.
Caitlyn tried reaching Tracy by phone while observing the suspicious truck, but received no answer. Noticing the unusual setup with cardboard under the vehicle, she stayed on the line with 911 as officers were dispatched. Later, she reviewed and confirmed text messages between herself and Tracy from the night of July 12th through the 13th, which were entered into evidence as Exhibit 42. How do you think these messages helped clarify what happened that night?
What time is recorded on that timestamp in the bottom right-hand corner?
10:08 p.m.
How many seconds as well?
33.
So 10:08, 33 p.m. Is
Just
this
below that, That's like next to impossible to read from where I'm sitting. I'm sure the jury just seen blue and green.
We're going to have a solution to that in just 1 second, Judge,
Right.
if that's okay.
That's fine.
Okay. Is this the message that you sent Tracy after you heard the gunshots and before you called 911?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, as the court astutely pointed out, these text messages are a little small. And so we're going to read these into the record so everyone can hear them and to the extent they can see, follow along, okay?
Okay.
So your messages are in what color?
Blue.
If you could just read your messages, you don't need to read the timestamps, and I'll read Tracy's messages to you, okay?
Okay.
If you could begin, please.
Are you guys okay? And then I said, lady, I don't know what's going on, but I'm praying and hugging you hard.
And then on the morning of July 13th, Tracy responds, thank you. Long, long night.
I said, was it your son-in-law?
Tracy says, yes.
And then I said, a bullet went into our garage.
Tracy responds, OMG.
And I said, oh man, just him, question mark.
Tracy responds, yes, he had a knife. And my son Kevin shot him.
I said, oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm glad you guys are okay.
Tracy responds, me too.
Then I said, do you guys need anything, question mark.
Tracy responds, maybe later.
I said, oh man, I'm sure that's normal. Are you home or did you guys have to leave?
Tracy responds, now I am at Holiday Inn Express in American Fork. We can't be there yet. Right now, I am just grateful my kids and grandkids didn't get hurt. I'm going to rest.
I said, me too. I saw them go into your garage when the cops asked me to go outside. I was like, oh, thank God we were praying.
Tracy responds, what time did you call 911?
I said, yes, huge, huge hugs. I said, get some rest. Please let me know if we can help.
Tracy says, did you call 911 or did another neighbor? I was on the phone with 911 and they were there so fast.
I said, I called at 10:07, I think. We were in the living room watching a movie with the kids, and I heard the shots and texted you, and then I saw the truck with the Cali plates and called. I said, I was on the phone with them when I called you.
Thank you. Just from that last part, you had previously mentioned texting Tracy before calling 911. So you also called her while you were on the phone with 911?
I think I had my husband call her. I forgot about that.
It's okay. Do you recall whether she picked up to that phone call?
No.
Do you have that ready yet? Yeah, I'll keep going. Thank you. And we can remove this exhibit now. Thank you. Okay, I want to ask you about whether you had any conversations with Tracy after the incident, but about the incident. Did you have a conversation with Tracy about that?
So I talked to her on the phone the next morning. It was a really brief conversation the first time I talked to her. She just said that Kevin was arrested and that they weren't sure when they were going to be able to go home. She asked if the cops were still there because I wasn't home anymore. I'd gone to go help a friend at a garage sale. That's pretty much what I remember from that conversation. Then later that day I got home and I went over to her house and checked on them.
Caitlyn's text exchange with Tracy began shortly after the gunshots, with messages confirming the danger her neighbor faced. Tracy revealed that her son-in-law had come to the house armed with a knife, and that her son Kevin had shot him in defense. Caitlyn expressed concern and offered support, while Tracy explained she was temporarily at a hotel with her children and grandchildren, grateful no one was hurt. Caitlyn also clarified that she had called 911 around 10:07 p.m., shortly after texting Tracy, and later followed up with a phone call the next morning to check on them. How critical do you think Caitlyn's quick communication was in alerting authorities and supporting her neighbors?
And that's when she basically said that she was sitting in the kitchen on the counter next to the fridge, and that Matt had stormed in with a knife, and he kind of walked around Their living room, if you walked in their front door and you went straight, you would hit the kitchen. But if you went to the right, there was a living room, and there was like a, what do you call it? Kind of like a fireplace. There's a pantry behind it, so it's like a big block of wall. And then to the right, there's the living room, and there's a dining room, and the kitchen was back here. So she said that he had come in and he'd gone through the living room and gone around through the kitchen, and he had asked where Kate was, and he seemed angry. And she said that he went to go forward towards the stairs, and that Kevin shot him and killed him.
Did she specifically say whether she saw the shooting?
No, I think she said she didn't see it, that she was in the kitchen, and that it just happened really fast.
Okay. Did she say where Kevin had gotten the gun?
She had told me that Kevin had ran to the garage, which was down the hall from the kitchen, and that she had stored it in a case. She did bring the case in and show me how quickly it was to open it and close it, but that was pretty much it, yeah.
Thank you. Just 1 second. Remember, there was a technical glitch when we played Exhibit 41. It appears to have cut off the first couple seconds, so we're going to replay that and hope it works.
Live 12/2024 22:09:40.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
Thank you. That's it. No further questions for this witness.
Cross? Briefly good. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Miss Laney.
Hey.
May I call you Miss Laney?
Yes.
I might have missed this. How long did you know Tracy?
We had been living next door to her for about 1.5 years.
Okay. And did you know her that entire time? Was she living there, I guess, once you moved in?
Yes.
Okay. You had mentioned she had given you her code. Was it some sort of...
She gave me my garage code.
Got it.
Yes.
Now, prior to this evening, what kind of relationship did you have in terms of, we heard that maybe she would give you some groceries, would check in with each other, being very neighborly.
Mm-hmm.
Did it go beyond that?
No, not really. No, like we were just neighborly. Like I said, we would just say hi. Her and Rory watched our dog a couple times when we went to California to see family.
I want to move to that conversation that you had with her. Was it at a park, I think you mentioned, where she mentioned for the first time about her daughter, about Kate?
Yes, that was at one of the parks in the community.
Okay. Now, would that be an unusual conversation to have, given your guys' history?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we had seen her out with Kate and the kids in the weeks prior to everything happening with the kids riding the bikes and stuff. So I had seen that Kate was there and kind of wondered what was up.
Okay. So the conversation itself, you had mentioned that she had left that Kate had left an abusive marriage, and that she left from California.
Caitlyn described Tracy, explaining that she had been sitting on the kitchen counter when Matt stormed in with a knife, moving through the living room and kitchen asking for Kate. Tracy said Kevin ran to the garage, grabbed a gun from a case, and shot him, though she didn't see the shooting herself. Caitlyn also recalled their neighborly relationship and how she first learned at a park that Kate had left an abusive marriage in California. How did Caitlyn's understanding of the layout and Tracy's explanation shape her perception of how quickly the events unfolded?
Do you remember any other details?
She said that Matt was an alcoholic, that he was financially abusive, that he would basically just keep them poor so she couldn't leave.
Had she talked about Kate before this to you?
No, but she had 7 kids.
Sure. Fair. Did she talk about her other kids?
We talked about Rory a little bit, not really much about Kevin, or I think the other son that was living there was Jake. She had told me a story about how one of her sons, I can't remember which one it was, but he had cancer, and that I think they had to go to a hospital back east for treatment. I can't remember which one it is.
So now let's move to that night. You're watching a movie, likely a Disney one, which I think is a fair bet, being a parent myself. You hear the noises. You think they're gunshots immediately. You reach out to her to make sure she's okay.
Yes.
You don't hear back from her right away. You also attempted to call her, right?
During the 911 call.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And again, you don't hear anything.
Yes.
You look outside, you see the truck, and that's odd.
Yes.
It was running.
Yes, it was running. The lights were on. The emergency flashers, if I'm remembering correctly.
Hardboard.
Yes.
Now, when you received a text back from Tracy the next morning.
Yes.
And as you were reading through that, your immediate question was it your son-in-law?
Yes.
You asked that question because of the conversations that you had prior to that.
Yes.
That's exactly where your mind went.
My mind went, he came to hurt the kids and her.
Because of what she had told you.
Yes.
Now, it's fair to say you were quite a bit of support for Tracy and the kids after this.
Yes.
I mean, you did a meal train for them, correct?
Yes.
You made sure they had everything they needed.
Yes.
You organized that.
Yes.
And she trusted you with that.
Yes.
Obviously, you don't know everything that had happened.
No.
A little bit of betrayal.
Yes.
I want to, as this is going on, as you have the meal trains going, spoke with officers in this case.
Yes.
And you told them about the conversation you had with Tracy. Was it the following day or 2 days later? I missed that.
I'm sorry, ask that again?
When you talked to Tracy again, you mentioned in person this time. I think it was a couple days after.
It was the next day.
The next day.
Yes.
Was that at her house?
Yes.
Okay. And this is where she showed you the case.
The gun case?
The gun case.
Yes.
She showed you how to open it.
Yes.
Could you tell me, remember what that looked like?
It looked like a black hard case, sure. I think there was a code to put into it, if I'm remembering.
And
but
I apologize.
she opened it quickly, so.
Did you ask her to get it, or did she just bring it out?
She just brought it out.
Caitlyn described Matt as abusive and shared limited prior knowledge of Tracy's kids. On the night of the shooting, she heard gunshots, tried to contact Tracy, saw a suspicious truck, and later confirmed the danger through texts. She supported Tracy afterward with meal trains and saw the gun case the next day. How did Caitlyn respond and help Tracy after the incident?
And she walked you through everything?
Yes.
She tell you where everybody was standing?
She didn't say where Kevin was. I think she said he ran to get the gun. That part wasn't super clear. She was kind of talking really fast, which was not uncommon for her. But she said that she was sitting next to the fridge on the countertop.
And you spoke to the cops about this?
I don't know if the cops asked me that question directly that night. They asked me for a statement. I don't think the cops asked me that detail because that night I had no idea where Tracy was sitting.
Okay. We have 1 second here.
Of course.
That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Redirect?
Few questions. Caitlin, during that 911 phone call, you gave the gate code to the dispatcher, right?
Yes.
Just to clarify that, is that a gate that is only closed certain hours of the day, or is a code needed all hours of the day?
It's closed all day.
Now, there was this discussion about your perceptions of what may have happened and why it may have been Matt. I have a couple questions about that.
Yes.
Did you personally know Matt?
No.
Have you ever had interactions with Matt?
No.
Were you family members with Matt?
No.
Did you ever go on a family vacation with Matt?
No.
So were your perceptions on Matt based solely on Tracy's statements or a long personal history?
Just solely on Tracy's statements.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Any read cross? No, good. Thank you. Maybe excuse, thank you. Or would you please make sure you're speaking directly into it so we can hear you. Please give us verbal responses. You were just nodding as I gave you those instructions, and I understood that. That means I understand what you're telling me. We don't have a video recorder, so we need an audio response. If I hear non-audio response, I'll ask if that's yes or no or one of the things, just to be precise. We would do it, so don't take it personally. Also, let the attorneys finish asking the question before you respond, so that you're responding to the actual question you're asking. Please give correct answers. On narrative responses are typically inappropriate. Fair enough?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Pomeroy.
Thank you, Judge, and thank you, Mr. Laney. To start with, would you just mind spelling your name for the audio recording?
My first name is Brent, B-R-E-N-T, and my last name is Laney, L-A-N-E-Y.
What would you like us to call you today?
Brent,
Okay, Brent. Brent, what city did you live in the summer of 2024?
American Fork.
Do you know a Caitlyn Laney?
Yes, that's my wife.
Okay. Do you know a Tracy Gri?
Yes, that was our neighbor.
And how about a Kevin Ellis?
And that was, he lived with Tracy.
You called them neighbors. Did you know them very well?
Somewhat, not real well.
Okay. The neighborhood you lived in, what type of community was that?
It was a gated community. It was pretty quiet.
In this gated community, was it all homes, all townhomes, a mixture?
Kind of a mixture, mostly like townhomes. They're like a large building. The one we lived in was a large building that had 3 individual homes all connected to it.
Okay, so you were in one, and then Tracy and Kevin were in one?
Yes.
Okay. And was this a safe neighborhood in your opinion?
Generally, it was pretty safe.
Do you remember an event in July 2024 that resulted in your wife Caitlin calling 911?
Yes.
Why did she call 911?
There were some loud sounds. Initially, I just assumed it was fireworks because it was after the 4th of July, but it was a little bit more of a distinct sound. My wife said it sounded like bullets or gunshots. It did kind of have that sound to it. And after hearing that, my wife wanted to call 911, so she called. And then a little while later, the police were at our door and asked us to fill out a report about what we did.
Let's go back for 1 second. What were you doing before you heard the sounds?
My wife and kids were watching movies together.
Okay. Do you recall the time at which you heard these sounds?
It was roughly around 10:07 p.m.
Okay. And how many noises did you hear?
I heard, I think, around about 4 pretty quickly together, with like a very brief pause.
Okay. And do you recall how much time elapsed between when you heard those noises and when Caitlin called 911?
It was about 2 minutes or so.
Thank you. Nothing further, Judge.
Cross? No good. Thank you. Thank you, sir. You may step down.
Thank you.
Brent Laney, Caitlyn's husband, confirmed their gated American Fork community and neighbors, Tracy Gri and Kevin Ellis. He recalled the night of July 2024 when Caitlyn heard gunshots around 10:07 p.m. while watching a movie with their kids. Thinking they were fireworks at first, Caitlyn quickly called 911 within about 2 minutes, and police promptly responded. Brent's account supports Caitlyn's actions and highlights the quick, concerned response during a critical moment. So, what do you think will happen next? What will be the final outcome of this case? Stay with us to find out. If you found this breakdown insightful, like, comment, and subscribe for more courtroom and crime case coverage, and hit the notification bell to stay updated to all the latest uploads.